Picture this. Your hands bound in cold iron, wrists bruised by shackles that bite into your skin. Your body is forced into the suffocating darkness of a ship's belly, pressed against strangers, the air thick with fear. The cries of your people echo through the gloom, sorrow, and terror mingling in the shadows. Everything is gone. Your home, your freedom, even your name, stolen in a single night. Yet, deep within, something unbreakable endures. A flame that refuses to die. The gods, the spirits, the ancestors of Africa, the pulse of creation carried in your soul, beyond the reach of any chain. And as your body is dragged across the ocean, your gods sail with you, their presence undimmed by distance or despair. The transatlantic slave trade was more than a crime of chains and whips. It was an assault on the human soul. Millions of men, women, and children were torn from the heart of Africa. Yoruba, Fon, Igbo, Bakongo, each carrying songs, stories, and sacred power. The slave ships became floating prisons, yet within their darkness, whispers rose. The captives prayed without words, calling to the spirits in silence. They remembered the drum beats of home, and even when the drum was forbidden, the rhythm lived in their hearts. The colonizers feared the drum because it was more than rhythm. It was communication, unity, resistance. They banned rituals, destroyed altars, erased languages. But Africa adapted. Its people hid their gods behind saints, their rituals within hymns, their power inside obedience. They pretended to bow, but every bow was defiance. Every whispered prayer was rebellion. Among the enslaved were the Yoruba, guardians of the Orishas, divine forces who walk between heaven and earth. When they were dragged across the waters, the Orishas crossed too. Yemọja, mother of the ocean, followed her children across the sea. In Cuba and Brazil, she rose again as Yemọja, the great mother who rules the tides and guards the womb of creation. Shango, the thunderer and king of kings, struck fear into oppressors. His fire burned in every drumbeat of defiance. Ogun, goddess of rivers and beauty, poured sweetness into bitterness. Her laughter healed despair. And Legba, keeper of the crossroads, opened the way so that even in bondage the road between humans and the divine was never closed. From these hidden prayers, new faiths were born. Santeria in Cuba, Candomblé in Brazil, Lucumi across the Caribbean. What looked like Catholic devotion was actually Africa reborn under new names. The Orishas adapted, surviving through rhythm, dance, and celebration. Their altars were disguised, but their power was public. In every song, every heartbeat, every step of rebellion. Across the sea in Haiti, the spirits of the Fon and Yu peoples, the Loa, rose with fire. Papa Legba stood at the crossroads, opening the gates of communication between worlds. Erzuli, goddess of love and compassion, wept for her people and turned tears into comfort. Ogun, spirit of iron and war, whispered courage into the hearts of the enslaved. Dambala, the great serpent, wrapped the island in his coils, blessing it with creation and wisdom. When the storm gathered in 1791 at Bois Caiman, drums thundered under lightning. A Vodou ceremony called upon the Loa to witness and guide the enslaved. Under their gaze, a revolution was born. The people of Haiti rose up, shattered their chains, and carved freedom from fire. The gods of Africa were not only alive, they were revolutionary. From Central Africa came the Bakongo, who carried the mysteries of the Nkisi, vessels of spirit and justice filled with herbs, earth, and iron. When the Bakongo were scattered to the Americas, their Nkisi became the roots of Palo Mayombe and Hoodoo. The Nkondi studded with nails, bound oaths, and punished betrayal. Each nail driven in was both prayer and promise. The Bakongo taught that death was not an end, but a crossing over the river between worlds, and that truth gave their descendants strength to endure. Their water spirits, the Simbai, guarded rivers and songs. Their names flow still in Creole prayers of Louisiana, in blues hymns, in whispered spells for healing. The brilliance of Africa's faith was its power to transform. The gods wore masks, spoke new languages, borrowed new faces, yet remained themselves. In Brazil, drumming festivals hid ceremonies for Shango. In Cuba, prayers to the Virgin Mary were offerings to Ocean. In Haiti, processions of Catholic saints carried Vodou spirits beneath their banners. Every hidden ritual was an act of rebellion. Every disguised dance a memory of freedom. This was not surrender, it was genius. By transforming, the gods survived, and by surviving, the people remained whole. Today those gods are not ghosts, they live. In Havana, thousands still gather by the sea to throw flowers to Yemọja. In Bahia, the streets shake with drums as Shango is invoked with fire. In New Orleans, Papa Legba is called upon at the crossroads before every ceremony. These living traditions, candomblé, santeria, voodoo, hoodoo, are not relics, but rivers of power that continue to flow. They gave birth to gospel and blues, jazz and soul. Every drumbeat carries their heartbeat, every chant their breath. Through them, Africa still speaks. The story of the African gods that crossed the Atlantic is not just a tale of the past, it is a testimony of survival. No chain, no whip, no empire could silence them. They endured because their people endured. They crossed in darkness but rose in light. Their fire lives in music, in prayer, in the rhythm of our hearts. Remember this, the gods are not gone. They walk beside us as they walked beside our ancestors. They are proof that Africa is eternal. And as long as their names are spoken, Africa will always rise. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to Vibe Africa, where the spirit, strength, and gods of Africa live again.